Hello and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Eric, joined by
Derek. Derek and
Derek and Eric.
Eric.
um, Bringing you some General Hospital 1993, the Brenda Years, covering February 22nd to the 26th. Tommy, roll the credits and we'll chat. So Tommy could not be with us today. He's a busy little beaver this week. So sorry about that. Um, Thank you, Patreon subscribers and other subscribers. We appreciate all of you. And moving on. So I feel like the cues dominated this week.
Yeah.
Quartermains were everywhere.
hmm
So it wasn't a very exciting week, I felt like, for February sweeps.
No.
Everything leading up to I felt like was pretty exciting.
hmm
So we'll cover Brenda since that's what we do in this one. So Brenda wasn't on too much, but so Jagger and Karen go on a date this week. They're all lovey-dovey and blah blah blah. Um, At one point, Jagger doesn't feel good enough for Karen, so he's pulling that card. That's annoying. I always hate those storylines.
Yeah.
Um, Jason is still butthurt by Karen because obviously he got dumped in a kind of crappy way. Um, Brenda and AJ met up.
hmm
So did he not know AJ before? I don't, or did she
They
not
knew
know
each
AJ?
other, but they didn't really like talk before.
They never crossed paths.
hmm
So yeah, AJ gets out, but we'll talk about that with the Quartermain storyline because I feel like that's the majority of the week.
hmm
Um, so they meet up or whatever. Jason wants to fight Jagger just to get out his aggressions. Jagger's like, bring it. I feel like this is definitely leading into the Jagger. Isn't there he a boxer at some point?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely leading into that, it feels like. So he picks a fight with him. Jagger kind of hits him a little bit. He doesn't want to hurt him too bad, it seems, because he
I
feels
love
bad.
that scene.
And
I was happy Jason stood up for himself.
I mean, he did, but I feel like he had nothing to stand up for. What do you have to stand up for? Just
Yeah.
because he got butt hurt? I mean, it wasn't Jagger's fault that Karen has feelings for Jagger.
True, true. But he's going to play
But
Jagger because now they're together. So,
yeah, I mean, I know he had to get it out, but he actually, when he did later was surprising.
hmm
um, with the cues. So Jason admits that he started the fight because Monica and Alan are all upset and because he has like a
yeah,
black eye or something. Um, Brenda is still being a shithead. She's like
very much
the
so.
way she's the way she's talking to Jason, like she's like, "Oh, I don't know why she would do that to you." And then he like feels really bad, and I'm like, "Is she trying to be nice or is she being an asshole?" I
You never
can't tell.
know.
Is she being like, yeah, I don't know, because like I feel like she does feel bad because he's like super depressed about it, and she doesn't realize how hurt he is because
yeah.
she's like, oh, Karen was just she just loved you both, and she just had to pick Jagger when it came down to it, and then he like starts feeling really sad, and then she's like, well, like she tries to like make up for it. I'm like, bitch, just shut up.
I love when Jagger kicked her out of Kelly's and he was like, "You need to go." He like threw her out. That was great.
He wants no parts of this woman. Why does she care? Like,
He
move
wants
along,
to leave
girlfriend.
alone either. Like, get a clue.
Seriously. I did like that AJ defended Jason later.
I loved that too.
Um,
That was great.
because I don't feel well, we know that Jason had to get it out. I didn't feel that
Mhm.
Jason was right to pick a fight like that with him because it
Mhm.
really had nothing to do with Jagger in a
Yeah,
way. It's Karen's fault ultimately.
right.
Not to be mean, and it's high school shit. We all dealt with this crap. I dealt
Mhm.
with it.
Mhm.
Passing notes is what we did though. Like we never really confronted anyone, only through note. But
Mhm.
anyway. um, and then Brenda and Jason, as they are getting along better, they end up kissing, which
I was surprised.
I was too. And she was surprised. She's like, I didn't think you or I was your
I
type,
never
and
knew they had a relationship before he was Jason Morgan. Never knew that.
same. I had no idea. No idea. I honestly didn't know they even went to school together because they didn't really. I don't remember them ever talking about it, and if they did, I probably just missed it.
Yeah.
Um, so that's all I have on that. Do you have anything else to fill in with that storyline?
Let me see. I just really loved the AJ sticking up for Jason, like you brought
Yes,
up. That was the best. I think that was the best part of the whole scenes, and
it
I love
was
how AJ and Jason stick together in the.
because
Yeah,
AJ didn't fight him. Like he wasn't trying to beat him up or anything. He was just like, "Yo, you hurt my brother. You'll have to answer to me," type thing. And I liked that.
yeah,
That was
and that
like
was
that's cool.
awesome.
How old? Are they the same age or like a year apart? I feel like or a year or
They,
two
I
apart.
think they're technically a year apart, but AJ is 20 and Jason is 17. They in
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
'Cause I remember because I'm watching. I'm watching many years of GH. I just watched 10 episodes of current GH the other day, and I watched 1983 today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just did a 1982 podcast, so I'm everywhere. So,
Well, Karen was
um,
talking about this. AJ was born in 79 and Jason was born in 81.
okay, so
So they're-
79 is who it was because I wasn't positive because I think yeah Jason was there in 81 they talked about, but I didn't know when he was born exactly because I guess we
So in
started
1992, he was aged to 17 and AJ was aged to 20. So,
okay. How
yeah.
old would they? So he would be about 40. Well, AJ if he was alive would be 45 now, I guess.
He'd be older than that if they aged him, but yeah, he'd be 45. But he's my age. We're the same age.
And then yeah, well yeah, I just turned 46, so and then Jason would be
43.
42, 43.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, I think he's 50, early
He's
50s
probably in
now.
his 50s by now. Well,
Yeah.
92. Well, 92, he was 17, so he's
I
I
mean,
don't
he
know,
still looks good
a
for
little bit
50,
older.
but
But yeah,
we know he's a health nut. Although he's in Philly today. They're in Philly for the Jason Spinelli Christmas concert, which I so
oh,
wanted to go
cool.
to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I'll get there one year. They were here last year too, and I wasn't. I just can never go. I gotta just get tickets like as soon as they come out, or I ain't going basically.
Yeah.
But I would like to have seen it.
Mhm.
Anyway, moving on. AJ comes home from the what's it called? The
Yeah.
rehab center.
Hmm.
The Qs have a meeting without Ned because Tracy is trying to replace him as CEO, which I thought was the best.
Hmm.
Um, Edward is very old school, does not want a woman in charge, which I feel like, dude, Tracy, this bitch can run the company. Like, what is like? I get you, like, I get him being old school sometimes, but I feel like
Hmm.
well, I guess that's the whole storyline between him and his daughter. Like they're just constantly fighting because she's always trying to prove herself to an asshole that will never, you can't do it to because you're not a man. Like basically.
Hmm.
And I guess that's where the fight is. I wish Edward would just like snap out of it, dude. She even says at one point, she's like, we're in the 90s now. Like, you got
Yeah.
to get over this old school thinking.
Hmm.
Um, I do love Tracy, even though she is such an asshole in the 90s. But like current Tracy, I love her too. She's still got like that edge, but like she's still like I don't know. She shows more of her heart now than she did before,
She
which I
does.
like. I just watched the Brooklyn and Tracy scene the other day, and I loved it. I was eating it up.
Hmm.
But anyway, um, Jenny's getting harassed by random people, which is annoying. Um, Jenny truly is the victim in all this. She does not deserve any of the bullshit that she's dealing with, and I
No.
hate everybody for it. She meets up with the senator, and
Mhm.
he lies. He lies to like, well, he lied to the press about her or whatever.
Right.
First of all, a 16-year-old could not be that devious. Like,
No.
how old was he? Was he only 18? I forget what his age was.
He was a senator?
Yeah,
He was
was
an
he
adult.
18
He was
then?
married at the time.
So he was older than 18.
Oh, yeah.
I I can't remember what the news report said as I was listening to it. Um, so yeah, so he claims that the 16-year-old like was after him, and then he unfortunately gave in to her. I'm like, dude, it still doesn't look good.
It
Like,
doesn't matter. She's 16.
right. Like, I feel like the people would not be on his side. I would hope they wouldn't, but I guess you
Nah.
really don't know with the world we live in.
I mean, he's
But
spin it in his favor much as he can, I guess.
right. Yeah, I guess he has to confront it because it's out there now.
Hmm.
Um, Tracy comes clean about the tape. She's like, "Yeah, I did do the tape, but I did not use it. But there was two tapes out there, and Ned did it."
Hmm.
I still don't know what they believe. I don't know if they believe her or not. Um, the the Q's, Monica and Alan mainly worry about AJ taking on too much. He's
I
talking
think
about
they
going back
think
to
Tracy did
school. Yeah, I guess so.
because Tracy's still bitter
Um,
about Paul, so why wouldn't she? But
but I mean, yeah, I guess. Then she's done multiple mean things in the past. It's hard to get over.
hmm.
Um, so yeah, the Q's are worried about AJ taking on too much. He wants to go back to school and take classes and all of this stuff, and they're just worried about him, obviously. And they mentioned what's her name again? That girl that dumped him that got
Something.
paid off.
Oh, Nikki.
They mentioned Nikki again, which means you did say she comes back, I think so. I'm guessing
Mhm.
it's leading to that.
Yeah, AJ's still not over that whole situation, even though he's so.
No. And he shouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. Ned taunts Tracy a little bit. He's like, dude, she's like, I want to be head of the company. Or he knows that she's trying to be CEO. He's like, you're not gonna get it. Like,
Mhm.
Grandpa don't swing that way. Like, he just don't do that.
Yeah,
Um, AJ asks Ned for a second chance. I didn't know they worked together before.
yeah, he worked at the Port Charles Hotel last year when the old one was on there and got fired for drinking
Oh,
the job.
so
Yeah,
that happened before we started
we watched
watching,
that. I
or
think. Yeah.
okay, I must have missed that. I must have came in right after that.
Mm.
Um, Tracy sets up a meeting with the senator dude. Um, she wants to totally destroy Jenny, which is such this is where I don't like her. This is where I want to slap Tracy.
Yeah,
She meets with him. I think his name's Jack. Jack
Jack
Kensington. I
Kennedy.
forget it. Yeah, Kensington. She meets with Jack to destroy Jenny. She wants to say something like she did the tapes and extorted him and all this stuff. So she's trying to like frame her currently for everything. And then at the end, Lila wants Jenny to redecorate the Quartermain bedroom, what bedroom or house? I don't know exactly
I
what
think
it
it was a
is.
study or something.
It's cute. They have great chemistry and they're really cute. She's like
Mhm.
a grandmama to her.
Yeah.
Jenny's like, I don't know if I want to risk it because I might bump into Tracy and Ed. She's like, don't worry about them. She's like, I got it. I'm kind of excited if this is a storyline. I kind of hope it is because I really want
And I don't buy that
Lila.
he's still in love with Jenny. Like they keep saying, like Edward kept saying, like you still have feelings for Jenny. He's like, no, but he,
Um, they say that there's a thin line between love and hate.
yeah,
So
hmm,
he could still care about her, but at the same time, you crush the woman. So if she would ever even think of taking him back, I would be like, I'm out. Like
no,
this,
not
it
what
just
she
doesn't make
has
sense
at all. Like,
because he crushed her.
yeah,
And even with all this, like you don't even go and see how she is. Like,
yeah, no,
I don't know. Dominique and Scotty are kind of in the same storyline. They don't really do much besides go away and fall in love some more and have a music montage of them. She passes out again because she can't get to her meds fast enough,
they take her to the
doing type of
hospital.
stuff. Yeah, I always wish I know that like she's leaving soon, but like I don't know. I guess there's not much they can do because she's basically like living like, each day as if it's her last, which it
Yeah,
could be,
that's what she
I
wants.
guess.
Yeah, but they still
Yeah.
haven't brought up the whole Serena issue yet. Like,
Right, right.
which is it's coming quick. So like it needs to get
Yeah.
in March. They'll talk about it. I hope. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about the cues before we move on? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask.
Yes. I when Lila said AJ has a twinkle in his eye back, I laughed so hard when Jason said, "We're so proud of you, Twinkle."
Yeah, yeah, I like that too. That made me laugh.
And I
That's
wanted to
such a
talk about
brother
Alan.
thing.
Even though Alan like paid Nikki off and got rid of her, like a lot of AJ's made a lot of positive changes since Nikki's out of his life. So I know Nikki's not over, but maybe Alan did. Maybe it's better that Alan did. I know Monica's still pissed at him for doing it,
Yeah,
but look at AJ now. He's sober. He's doing well. He's happy. He's enrolling in classes. Like maybe it's
yeah.
better.
It does seem good, but I understand why they're concerned because like if you do too much sometimes, it could lead to any like when you have too many things on your plate, it can lead to like a crash. And I just feel like that's
Mhm.
probably why they're like, take your time. Because now he like already bothered Ned for a job. He wants, like he's doing classes. Like I get like he's trying to get his life back on track, but at the same time, it is dicey. Um,
And I love that they did the callback to Tracy withholding Edward's medication.
mhm.
That was fun. I forget what I
Um, I,
said, but I laughed, and he was like, "Well, you withheld my medication. You thought you were going to kill me. Why would I put you in charge of healing?"
yeah, and she's basically like, yeah, you'll never let that down,
Let
will
that
you?
go.
She's like, you lived, you were fine, you faked it. He's like, yeah, but you didn't know that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this Ed. I have this Edward multiple years, so he's
Yeah.
in all of the years that I'm watching, except for current, and
And
he's
he's
just
great, and
great.
I'd never seen him before we started this podcast. So like, I really like him.
Oh, you never seen him?
Well, no, John Angle was playing the part by the time.
I didn't know if you watched like other stuff on YouTube and stuff
Not really.
previous.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
he's
a
great.
little bit, but yeah. But now that I'm watching him regularly, I really like him.
Um, Go back to the early '80s. He's just great.
Yeah.
He's just like that curmudgeon-y old man. Like
Mhm.
he never changes. He's exactly the
Mhm.
same. The advice that he gives is the worst advice you could possibly give to anyone, and he's
Mhm.
just so funny.
Mhm.
So anyway, I do think we covered all of Dominique and Scotty. There really wasn't a ton. That was all I got for
Mhm.
them. We have the fall, well, not even that much fallout with the Sean Tiffany stuff. Bobby won the case or won
Mhm.
custody. She goes to Tiffany. She's like, "Listen, like we gotta both be in his life." And she's like, "You just ruined my life, basically," and walks away. And
I love
Vivian's still annoying.
Tiffany's reaction. It was perfect. I,
It
I
was
literally looked like she knew she was going to get custody, and then like her face when she found out she didn't. And I didn't feel sorry for her, to be honest.
no, I don't feel sorry for her. I just want her to snap out of it, because
She snapped out of it.
this isn't the Tiffany that I know. Like if you like, and again, if you see her in the '80s,
It's
totally different stuff.
yeah, it's
It,
and then I love when
although
Bobby's
she was a bit of an asshole in the '80s though,
was
so
she?
she does have this in her. So
Okay.
she's not always the heroine and whatnot that you think she might be to this point.
Well, when Bobby said, Tiffany, I don't know what's happened to you. That's kind of like where we're all at. I don't know what's happened to you. Like, what's you're not the same person you used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think it's guilt because she couldn't be there for her sister. Her and her sister, from what I've been told by you guys, like
I agree.
never like they didn't really get along too well in the end. And like I just feel like she just feels like she has to take on this child
To make
to
it up to her
heal
sister.
her to heal herself. Yeah, which basically she needs a therapist. So
Yes.
hopefully Kevin comes to town soon and helps her out. um,
And the Sean and
but
Tiffany
that's all.
conversation after the trial was pretty good as well. When he was like,
Hmm.
they had it out, and Tiffany was like, "Well, if you were there for me, I would have had custody." And Sean's like, "Not necessarily.
Yeah,
You played dirty, and you shouldn't have played dirty."
yeah, it's sad.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that she ruined her relationship with him, and he's trying to be there. He's like, I think he talked to, I forget who he was talking to, but he's like, I still love her. Was it
Yeah.
Mac or Tony? I think it was Tony.
Tony. Yeah.
Um, So speaking of Mac, Mac wants to break Felicia out. Um, Tony's kind of fighting with him a little bit. He's like, "Listen, there's a guy in there messing with her. She needs to get out of there." Felicia's crazy friend helps her. I like that. Um, Felicia's a lot more calm, cool, and collected because I feel like she knows she's got to try to be good
Mm-hmm.
in order to, well, she's going to try to escape. But
Mm-hmm.
I like that she starts working out because that other lady tells her like, oh, she couldn't get out of the air duct or whatever because she wasn't strong enough to pull herself up. Well, she's like, well, I'll start working out then. And just starts like doing push-ups all day. Uh, I like Felicia. Um, Mac and Robin talk. Robin basically knows she's like, you're gonna bust Felicia out, aren't you? He's like,
Yep.
yeah. Robin was only on for that like 5 seconds, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she was going to school in real life and probably couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Um, and Matt goes to Holly for the fake ID and he tells her the story because she at first she's like, are you sure you want to do this? And then he tells the story. She's like, all right, how soon do you need the ID? He's like, yesterday. She's like, on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, love that. That's all I got for them.
Okay.
Anything else for them?
Um.
Mac, Felicia, and crew.
Oh, the orderly that was like harassing her and like wants.
Mm,
Yeah.
hmm
And he definitely wants to like rape her or something. And
Yeah.
it's very
Um,
scary. And she was like kissing up to him towards the end to try to. I don't know. She fooled the doctor into thinking that she's making progress.
yeah, she talked to the doctor. The doctor wasn't helpful. He's
Yeah.
like, because it didn't, he said like Tony or I forget who he said, but somebody was giving her a hard time in there. She started to tell him about the creep dude. And
Yeah.
then he was like, oh, but he wouldn't do that because he was actually like defending you earlier. And that's when she stopped herself. She's like, well, see, I can't tell this guy because he's
Right.
going to defend this man. So
Exactly.
there's nothing she can do. She has like no choice but to escape.
Yeah.
Um, we had some Lucy and Richard shenanigans and what's his name? Marco.
Marco. Yeah.
I don't even understand the storyline.
I don't know where it's going. I mean,
No
I really
idea.
don't. And what I gather is that Bill had that fantasy about the painting and this woman. So now this painting's connected to this woman that he used to be in love with. Like, I don't know.
I
And
don't
Richard
either.
is somehow involved and connected to the whole thing. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I like that Lucy and Holly had, well, we're going to have drinks together, but
Mhm.
they never actually did have a drink and they kind of bonded. And Lucy's like, I'm not used to feeling like this. And she's like, what, caring about another person? Because she feel like caring about Dominique.
Well, yeah, and they both
That
love
cracked me up.
Dominique. You know,
Right.
they both care about her, and I thought that was cool. I like that scene too.
But it's true though for Lucy, I think. I don't think she ever did care about anybody else, as far as I know, or for what I've seen and heard, besides herself,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, until now. Which
Well,
I think,
it's something about like Dominique's just such a great person. I can't believe like this is happening to her. And
right. Um, but yeah, Bill Eckert stuff I don't really understand. I think Richard has the painting or knows where it is, but won't give
it's
it
making a
back.
little
So
more sense to me, but not complete sense. It's something to do with this woman that he used to be in love with. I don't know if
yeah,
she's dead or if she's alive. I don't know, but
I
like
guess because their story's coming to an end soon. So
she's pretending
and
to
if
be this woman, and to like I don't know why she's pretending to be here for Halifax, and then I don't know.
yeah,
It's just so confusing. But I think he's trying. He's Halifax has a plan. I just don't know what it is yet, but he has something against Luke and it has something to do with this woman, Victoria,
and
whoever her name is.
Bill meets with that man, an old friend of his.
Yes.
I guess to help track down the painting as well.
Yeah, because he said he got a lead on the where the painting, and he said it was taken by a woman, and he described the same woman that used to be he used to be in love with, so he knows exactly who she is.
So are we getting? I guess we're getting a new character.
Either that, or Lucy's pretending to be this woman who might already be dead. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know, but she looked
I don't
familiar, the actress in the flashbacks.
I didn't. I'm trying to remember the flashbacks.
Mhm.
I don't remember them.
There's like there's like two of them, and we didn't really see her face that well in the one of them. So like, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's all I got for everything.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Marco's still recruiting Jagger to be a boxer, which is he literally does everything. It's like what because
Yeah.
he was fighting Jason. He's like trying to like get him to like be a boxer, and he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah, I wonder why they got rid of Marco if he is like a jack of all trades.
yeah, I guess he
He only
just has
lasts a
a
year.
contract because he's only on a year.
Hmm.
And it's funny how Marco and Brenda are always lurking around at the right time. Like whenever there's like an opportune moment, they're always there.
Yeah, right. That is true. They really do lurk.
Oh, and Tracy offered the senator a deal saying that she would make Jenny be responsible for the whole thing, and like she recruited Marco to perjure himself and on the stand, so Jenny would take the fall for everything.
Right, for the tapes and the
Right.
extorting and all that,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Which I'm mad at Tracy for. So I'm hoping Tracy
Yeah,
gets a
I don't
big
like that
fall
either.
soon. Because Jenny, like, this is just like torture. It's almost like with Felicia, like getting tormented a bit. Like she wasn't as bad this week to watch because it wasn't. But I just
Mhm.
feel I hate when there's a lot of like bullying on one character. Like Sasha.
Mhm.
Sasha's a perfect example of somebody hates her. The writing
The writing team
room.
definitely hates her. Yeah.
You killed her kid. You killed her boyfriend. Now she's related to her current boyfriend. I think I'm not up to date, but
Yeah.
uh, it's just like they gotta stop. She was on like, so that's the way I feel like with Jenny and Felicia. I feel like both of them are just getting beat down. Where I'm hoping we get some kind of triumphant something from them where they screw somebody in the end.
Yeah.
Um, Julia was on, but backing that up, so blah.
Yeah.
Don't
She
really
didn't really have
care.
much going on. Yeah, Tracy actually said to Marco name your price instead of like she's usually trying to lowball him, and she's like, name.
Well, because now could because he could be of use to her, so of course. But
Yeah.
before, when he wasn't really doing what he needed to do, or what she wanted, she of course didn't want to
Mhm.
pay him, for doing nothing.
Yeah. Um, I kind of
I mean, Tracy's rich; she don't care. What's
yeah.
that?
Watching these episodes made me miss Jason Quartermain. I was like, I wish Jason Quartermain was still around sometimes.
I know, me too.
I like Jason and AJ are just so great together. Like I love their dynamic. I wish they were both still on the show because we need that Quartermain feel, and we don't have that anymore. Well, we have
Yeah,
Sophie and we have Ed, but like we don't have like that part of them.
right. I always wish they would do that storyline where Jason would actually be like his old self and not remember any of the stuff that he did in the past 30
I've been
years.
waiting for that for 30 years.
Yeah.
I
I
really
mean, it's I feel like it would be more interesting to watch. Me and Karen talk about that all the time,
It
but
leaves
it would because like
much.
for, for 30 years and I feel like they tried it multiple times and then they just like don't go that way. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Like he could still end up working for Sunny if that's where you want him to be. Like he can just like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. They could figure it out, but
I mean, he's probably gonna end up a doctor because that's what he was doing before he ended up in the
I
accident.
just read re I just read recently like GH's ratings are tanking, so I'm a little
Oh
nervous.
no!
But
What about the Hulu ratings?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
It's always in the top 10 on the Hulu
I
though.
was watching all.
So
So
the only thing I would be concerned with is if they might cancel it but it would only be a streaming service just like Days is now on Peacock. But
that would make
ABC
sense.
doesn't have
Yeah.
ABC doesn't have one though, so I don't know how that would work.
Well, they own Hulu, so I think it would just be on Hulu
Oh,
probably.
ABC owns Hulu?
Yes.
Oh, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
It would just be
Let's
there.
see what else. I really want Brenda to like get her comeuppance for taking the pictures of Karen and just being an asshole. And
Yeah.
still hasn't. I mean, like the whole thing with Jagger throwing her out of Kelly's was great, but at the same time, I need more.
Yeah. I don't really know what I want from Brenda. I'm not sure.
Mm,
I mean, she stirred up enough drama, I feel like,
mm,
to want to see something. Maybe I want her to do a little bit more, but
mm.
uh, I don't know. I would like Karen to fight for herself a little bit, because
Yeah,
I feel like
Karen
she
needs to
doesn't.
stick up for herself a little bit more.
Yeah,
I just
she
wish.
doesn't.
I just want her to punch me in the face. I hope she
I
does.
think
I
it.
don't remember if she does, but I hope she
I
does.
think it might lead to that, and I also think that Brenda would probably like press charges when it does happen,
She probably would. Yeah,
just to like prolong that pain for Karen.
yeah. Well, Karen.
Uh,
I mean, I know what happens with Karen. Like the whole Sunny thing's gonna start in the next few months.
mm,
So yeah, that's gonna be hard to watch. Yeah,
yeah, I like know some things, but I don't know. I've really never watched all of it, so I have no idea.
yeah. But I
All
think that's
right,
all I
is
got.
that all we got?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us today for more Brenda years. Even though there wasn't much of Brenda this week, but maybe there will be next week. Um, Subscribe, like, and comment. Did you watch in 1993? Let us know. Who'd you like? Who
Oh,
didn't you like? Do you have the same feelings we have? Are you excited for Sunny to come? Because I'm not. But but I have Sunny in current day, so it don't matter. That's all I got. Have a good one, everybody.
all right.
Bye.